Hey, for 241 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. And I just titled this, Make Yoga Easily Doable. And the reason I did this is because I want to start to talk about what's kind of happening to me in the last 3 days, which is I don't want to do yoga. Last 2 days, I did not want to do yoga. One, I already made a commitment to do it for 365 days. I know this feeling will pass, especially by next week, most likely, because I have a lot of things happening that interferes in a way of me wanting to do yoga. It doesn't interfere with the time at 5:30 to 6. That time's open. But it interferes of me wanting to do yoga. Things are happening. Work, family, and just all the things that are going on. And it's taking my mind away from wanting to do yoga. So what I want to mention is make yoga easily doable. So for example, I just thought about this title, is that I came out here, I was doing something, I've been up since 3 a.m. I was doing something for work. Then 5:15 came around. Well, no, actually 5 came around. I thought, man, I need to get ready for yoga at 5:30. And blah, 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 blah. That's easy for me to do because I made a commitment. That's just me. I made a commitment. I'm going to do this every day, period, unless something happens and I can't. That is possible. Then I came out here to do yoga. And before I do these videos, a lot of times I'll do a Hari Om chant, Om chant. Sometimes I pray. And as a Muslim, I do the Islamic prayer. Sometimes I just pray, like, hey, God, things like that. But today I thought, okay, it's like 5:25, thought, okay, I'll sit down and do a sitting meditation. So I just sat down. Right when I sat down, I saw a string on my pants. I was like, man, I gotta go cut that off. I don't want that to be in the video. Even though no one watches these videos, I still don't want a string on my pants. So I had to go cut it off, came back, had no time to even do my 1 minute or so sitting meditation where I just focus on the breathing. And so I just stood in mountain pose and I did it then. Didn't have time to sit down and stand back up. I really think like that. I thought, okay, that's just going to take too much time for me to settle down. So I just stood here and I just did 10 breaths where I focused on my breath. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2, up to 10. And my point is, if that's all you can do it. If you have to go to work at, say, 8 o'clock and you wake up at 5:30 to get ready, well, when you go make your coffee, while your coffee's making, do a sitting meditation. Right there in the kitchen, or a standing meditation. Right there in the kitchen while your coffee makes. Time it. I used to do that. That's why I bring that up. I would get up at a certain time when my coffee was making, I did meditation. And I did it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, I forget it exactly, but some days I would only do 2 minutes. Some days I could only do 2 minutes. I could really only do 2 minutes. And some days when I did the 2 minutes, I couldn't even meditate. I couldn't even focus on my breathing. My mind was just monkey mind, but it was something about making that time, regardless if I was doing it or not, is something about that, something bigger happening when you're taking time to try to meditate. And I know you don't try to meditate just happens and all that, but there's something bigger. And that's what I wanted to share today. And I think that's what I'll start talking about, of how to make yoga happen every single day. Of course, there's other ways to understand yoga, so it happens every day. Like you wash dishes, your mind and body connects to that activity, you're doing yoga. Yoga is a big concept. So you can do yoga by being kind to someone. That's yoga. Karma yoga, for example, is doing something, helping someone. And there's many levels. So I'll start talking about that, and I just wanted to mention it today because it's happening to me. How to make time. I made time because of commitment. And I'm just sticking to the commitment. Even when I don't want to do it, I'm out here at 5:30. And it's been 241 days. And this feeling in the past, I also understand that. I know things pass. So today, we're going to do the sitting meditation in the beginning. For me, I like to do that now. I used to do where we just began with the sun salutation, but I want to do the sitting meditation just for 2 minutes where you just focus on the breathing. Then we'll stand up, continuing to stay focused on the breathing. Even when you stand up and you have a pillow and you move it, you're staying in a meditative state. Even though technically it doesn't look like yoga, when you're standing up, moving the pillow, kicking the pillow, moving around, if you stay focused on that breathing, letting mind and body connect, you're still in yoga. So, you are yoga. I said in yoga. I shouldn't have said that because there's no you. The you dissolves and you become yoga. So let's go ahead and go to the easy pose, which is the modification of the lotus pose. And with the easy pose, this is a rock, cleaning out my garage. I have a curtain here, it blocks everything. So my wife and kids are cleaning out the garage, me too. And what the curtain means, don't come over here. Do they? Yeah, they come right through and run out the door. I have a door right there. At least that's the goal. Don't come over here. So, in easy pose, you want to make sure you feel easy. It's easy. So if your back gets fatigued easily, lean back, lean against the wall, have one leg out, do what you have to do. And we're just going to go for 2 minutes, focusing on the breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. Think of nothing else but of the breathing. You are the focusing. Now, I say focus on the breathing like there's a you. Technically, you are the focusing. I just use those words because it's hard to explain it any other way. So you're focusing 100% on the breathing. You're watching yourself breathe. And you do that by focusing on the belly. When you inhale, the belly expands with air. When you exhale, the belly goes in. You pay attention to that. That's watching yourself breathe. You are the watching. You're not just the watcher. You're the watching. And what will happen is your mind will wander. And when it does, just gently bring your focus back to the breathing. And then it'll happen again, and then bring your focus back to the breathing. And many times what will happen is you'll start controlling the breathing. And when you realize, hey, I'm controlling my breathing, not just watching it, let go and just watch yourself breathe. Remember, you're already breathing automatically. So you let go of control and just watch it. Become the watching. So let's go ahead and begin. 2 minutes. palms together. Now you're staying focused on the breathing, even as you stand. Doesn't seem like a yoga pose, and it's technically not, but you're still in a state of yoga. Even if you stand, even if you adjust, it doesn't have to look like the textbook pose or what you've been told. Yoga is when the mind and body connects. In your mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up, spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted, arms are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. You're just watching yourself breathe, technically becoming the watching. The you dissolves, you become the watching, become the focusing. Bring your palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Push the arms out, up and back. Inhale slowly. And then exhale. As you exhale, you hinge forward. You go right into the standing forward bend, palms to the calves, elbows into the sides of the legs. You're pulling yourself in and down. Forehead's going to the knees. All there is leaving. And once all there leaves, you release the breathing. You just focus on the breathing. Again, the you dissolves and you become the focusing. Let yourself breathe. Let the body breathe. You're letting go of control. You're letting yourself breathe. Now, this pose is important because when you inhale, the belly swells with air and it pushes you out of the pose slightly. Let yourself be pushed out. And when you exhale, the belly goes in. You go back into the pose. It's a subtle, subtle movement. You're aware of this subtleness, but you're not focused on it. You're focusing on the breathing. Focusing on the breathing heightens your awareness, and it lets you know what's happening. It lets you become aware. So palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back. Into a low lunge. With a low lunge, stop the foot to the floor in the back. Knees to the floor. Hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching. Front knees not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some. And you're feeling openness. You're becoming openness. Remember, the body does not dictate whether you feel open. Just focus on the breathing. And we're going to go to a high lunge, and we're going to stay in the high lunge a little bit longer than we usually do. So curl the toes under the back. Knee goes up. Get the leg as straight as you can. Back is arching if you like, but if not, you're reaching out. You're still reaching out. If the back is straight, you're reaching out or arch the back. And then you settle in the pose. You accept where you are and you focus on the breathing. That means if you're going down a little bit and the knees barely touching the floor, that's all right. It's okay. Mind and body's connecting. The mind and body's connecting. Boom. Your yoga. And then downward dog. With the downward dog, you're pushing into the pose. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Tailbones going to the ceiling. Heels are towards the floor. And you are pushing into the pose. Then you push right to the spot before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot. Settle. Accept. And just focus on the breathing. Now, what's important to understand is that once you're settled, you're becoming one with the pose. So although you're pushing,
When you become one with the pose, it's almost like you're not pushing. You're becoming one. Now, of course, you still may feel like you're pushing, but let go of that feeling and just become one. And if you can't, that's okay too. That's where you are. Acceptance is part of yoga. Now you can slide into the upper dog, drop down to the knees and chest. This is a straight transition, so it's very important too. And then the upper dog, tops of the feet are to the floor, palms are to the floor. You're feeling opened. You are becoming openness. The you dissolves. Remember, in yoga, there's no you. You is just the collection of thoughts of the notion of a you. Let that dissolve and just be openness. Now to modify this pose, you can go down to the small cobra. Chest is off the floor. Palms are touching the floor, but you're not using them. You're not pushing up. You're pulling up. And then back to downward dog. Pushing into it. And you are pushing into it. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling. Heels are towards the floor. No tension in the neck. Then you get to the spot right before you feel like you shouldn't go any further. Find that spot. Settle in that spot. Accept where you are. And focus on the breathing. Again, although you're pushing into the pose, once you accept, you become one with the pose. It's almost like you're not pushing anymore. And then bring the left foot is up. Bring the left foot is up. Bring the left foot up. Can't speak. And then to a low lunge. With a low lunge, top of the foot to the floor and the back. Knees to the floor. Hips are square, pushing forward diagonally. Back is arching. Head is up. And you're focused on breathing. 100% focus on the breathing. And technically, the you dissolves and you become the focusing. Make sure the front knee is not over the toes. If it is, lengthen up some. And just accept where you are. Now we're going to go to a high lunge. Curl the toes down into the back. Knee goes up. Get the leg as straight as you can. And then the back is straight. And if it's straight, you're elongating. You're stretching out. If it's arching, you're arching as much as you can. And you're pushing a little bit. Sort of like a scoop. Usually don't use the word scoop because it's Pilates. I used to teach Pilates for a long time. So I have those terms I accidentally use. And now standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. Forehead go to the knees. Get all the air out. Once all the air is gone, release and just focus on the breathing. Letting yourself breathe. Do not control it. Let go. So palms together. Reach out. Up and back. Inhale. Turn the palms out. Push the air down and out. Exhale. And again. Inhale. Last sun salutation. Exhale. Hinge forward from the lower back. Go all the way down. Keep the back as straight as you can. Palms to the calves. Elbows into the sides of the legs. Pull yourself in and down. And then release the breathing. And just focus on the breathing. Again, in the poses, you just accept where you are. Once you accept, boom, you're becoming one with the pose. So although you're pulling yourself in and down, it's almost like you're not. You're one. No effort. No trying. Once you're settled, you're one. Then palms to the sides of the feet. Left leg is back into a low lunge again. Again, can't speak. Never could speak. I used to have a speech teacher in elementary school. Did I have her attend? I might have not had her. I think it was K through 5th. Yep. Didn't help me. That was the 70s. Little different. All it taught me is that I can't speak. That's all it taught me. I just remember, put a big feeling of you can't speak. You're inadequate. I'm being honest. That's how I felt as a kid. Of course, I can speak. Speak in tongues too. No, I used to be able to speak in tongues when I was a Christian. So high lunge. Focus on the breathing. I used to speak in tongues. And you know what? To this day, I do not deny that experience that I had. Don't deny it, man. One truth, many paths. Remember, you're settling. Once you settle, it's almost no effort. Of course, a lot of times there's still effort, but even if you feel a little effort, that's where you are. You have to accept it. Try to let go of any effort and just let the body become one with the pose. And then downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really, really push into it now. Arms are straight. Legs are straight. Tailbones to the ceiling. Heels are towards the floor. Again, you're finding that spot where you don't think you should go any further. Find it. Accept it. Focus on the breathing. You're learning to listen to your body. Your body's saying, hey, this is where it's at. Find it. Accept it. Focus on the breathing. Learning to be your own guru. Then wherever you are, push a little bit more if you feel like you should. If you feel like you shouldn't, then don't. And now slide into the upper dog. Drop down to the knees, in the chest, slide up. Tops of the feet are to the floor, palms are to the floor. Modify the pose how you have to. And you're becoming openness. Openness, capital O, it's just another word for yoga. The words don't matter. It's the experience. Of course, most yogis will disagree. Words do matter, especially when it comes to mantras and all that stuff, or mantra. It matters. That's why when you say asana, they say, no, it's asana. When you say namaste, they correct you. I already experienced all that through Islam. Trying to make you sound like you don't speak English. Cultural simulation. We're going beyond that. That's not what we're doing. So we're in the downward dog, pushing into it. Really, really push into it now. Settle, accept, focus on the breathing. And wherever you are, push a little bit more. Settle, accept, focus on the breathing. No tension in the neck, so the head dangles. And now bring the left foot up between the hands. Low lunge, feel opened. You're becoming openness. Remember the you dissolves. The you is just a collection of thoughts of a you. Notion of a lowercase s self. That all goes away in yoga. You are the focusing. You are the oneness. And then curl the toes under the back. Knee goes up, high lunge. Settle, find that spot. Even if you're shaking a little bit, find it. Try not to shake, so you let go and become one. If you're still shaking, it's all right, because we have acceptance. Acceptance is yoga. Capital A, acceptance, that's yoga. It's all right, that's where you are. Not trying to be somewhere. You're accepting where you are. That's a mindset that you're learning on the yoga mat. So you accept who you are in life. Be true, be you. That's what it means. Be you, man. And then standing forward bend. Pull yourself in and down. Let yourself breathe. And just focus on the breathing. And palms together. Reach out, up and back. Inhale. And then exhale. Turn the palms out. Push the air down and out. Thumbs to the heart center. And I'm going to go to mountain pose. Remember, in mountain pose, feet are shoulder width apart. Toes go up. Spread the toes as wide as you can. Each toe touches the floor one at a time. Knees are bent, hips are tilted. And find that spot where the skeleton just stands. So lengthen up, and then let the bones of the skeleton stand. Finding that stability, becoming that stability that threads through the bones where the skeleton just stands, as if you were just your skeleton. Find that spot, become that stability. You are that stability, capital S stability. And we're just going to stay here a little bit longer. So just focus on the breathing, watching yourself breathe. Let the you dissolve, and you become the watching, you become the focusing. You are yoga. No more you, it dissolves. Be. Bring the palms together. Namaste. And that's it. It's number 241 YouTube Live Yoga Routine. A routine that I didn't want to do. See? I want to do yesterday. It's routine. I didn't want to do the day before. It's routine. But I did it. Because I'm committed. And I do it. It's very important. And like I was saying in the beginning, make yoga easily doable. And you have to understand what yoga is to do that. Yoga is not the poses. It's part of yoga and can be part of yoga. But washing the dishes could be yoga too. I'm going to start talking about that. That's what I'm going to start talking about. So I will see you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time. So namaste, peace and love.